Welcome back. I'm playing Ash of God, and last time we summoned the Menhir, and we are moving on. I think I leveled everybody up that I had to. Yes. So let's move on to the Menhir. You are done here, so you can simply wait until the preparations are complete. Yes, nobody else to talk to, right? Orcan lifts his hands. You approach the Menhir, appreciating its mass. Close up, it seems far from weightless. Orcan raises his hand when you mirror his gesture. He cuts his palm and clasps his hands with everyone in turn. Ask if he's a reaper. Orcan shakes his head. I could have become one, though through eternity bathing in blood. Best not to think of it. You stand there transfixed. In a flash you see the heart of the steep roamer. 1,000 years of pain and longing. He puts his arm around Reed's shoulder, pressing his other hand against the stone next to where the girl has hers, palm up. You do the same. Good, Orcan says, before hurling you into darkness. Whatever happens, protect Reed Icon, you hear Orcan say as darkness envelopes you. Oh, I guess we're going into a fight. As if the veil covering you since you touch the Menhir has... It's as if the veil covering you since you touched Menhir is lifted. Chilly air nips at your cheeks on the mountain's edge. At a place where the road bends, several astounded gals unsheath their swords before you. Damn you, Kendi cries, as if being thrown out of the snow wasn't enough. We're practically landed on the enemy's blades. You draw your swords. You should deal with this unexpected obstacle before forging on. Alright, how do I want to do this? Maybe we'll hide the girls over here. And bring you over here. Alright, let's move you down here. Do that. Perfect. Run you down here. Let's move you down. Move you up this way. Easy. You stand motionless. The battle's over. The Gales have lost. Blood-stained, the frozen rocks crunches underfoot. As the heat of battle passes, the bitter cold tightens its thorny embrace. You survey the area. Adjusting his mask, I've forgotten what the snow and cold feel like. You have beautiful mountains here. Everything else fits. There is a metallic taste in my mouth. It is what the pathway should feel like. Rubbing her bare shoulders. We're somewhere on the edge of the Vale of Mercy. We should leave before we freeze to death. I know not why we've emerged here. I know no Menhirs in these parts. It might be something with power equal to a Menhir, though. Wait, we're not the only ones led astray. There's an NC. These are NC footprints. I see no footprints. What could be as powerful as a Menhir? What are the Gels doing here? Warming or freezing fingers. If I'm not mistaken, the Gels are mountain dwellers. There are no Gels in the Milky Mountains. They mostly stick to the mountain valleys. The poor sods might have gotten here the same way as us, unless someone sent them here on purpose. In a detached manner, Orcan could have been more precise. He could have at least warned us. I thought he liked you. Whatever has drawn the NCs here has lured us too. It's quite curious, Orcan. It has naught to do with it. Fortunate then that I'm not an NC. I am an NC, but since Reet lifted my enchantment, I no longer feel a draw to the Meniers. Neither am I an NC, but I sense something, either a Menier or a kind of magical power or a person wielding that power. I've hit a dead end. I know not what gals they're doing here, but there's only one choice now. We'll have to follow the NC tracks. Oh, we're back to where my first battle was when we started. That's interesting. We'll go ahead and... yeah, it's doubling it, so why would I select anything but that? Is there anybody else? No, that's good. Oh, damn it. Alright, well, let's put you guys here. Put you here, and maybe I can run them down. Yes. Good, that's what I was hoping. That they would just keep attacking you. There you go. Easy. No sooner do you lower your sword that you notice a middle-aged woman with white hair standing in the hovel's doorway. She emanates unmistakable power. She looks vaguely familiar. Whispering in your ear, "Dear God, she's a seeress. I told you about her once, remember? Her white hair is legendary. They say she knows the answers to all questions." With a gentle smile. If you want to talk to one woman, don't go whispering to another, even if you're an icon, especially if you're a warrior of peace, though I doubt that a warrior of peace could have made it here. You must be really anxious to find me. My gals are no more, is that right? Amma, a white-haired seeress. The temple code of Berkana and Frisia holds no information on her, but she's mentioned in some ancient manuscripts. It goes without saying that any information about her is either false or incredibly valuable to the Inquisition and the Temple Inquest Service. Hunters say that they sometimes meet her near the thinly populated Vale of Mercy. Amma avoids the local population, living a secluded life and never divulging where she dwells. Rumors has it that she helped found the abode of the humble in Radona. The current mentor can't prove or refute that, since it's been hundreds of years since the monastery was founded. Theories that this seeress resembles a great Ancesttress from the Serpent's Temple on the Isle of Shadows are impossible to prove, since communication is impossible with the Icon Council of Elders. If those theories are confirmed, the seeress would be recognized as a witch. Who are you, and why do you look familiar? Wincing, my name's Amma. Not that it means anything to you. As for my face, I tell you why it looks familiar, but later, when the time is right. Are you a seeress? As I said, my name is Amma. I can be a seeress. I can be a healer. Some call me a witch, but most of the time I'm just a woman who wants to be left alone. Did you just heal me? I have heard that fortune tellers give vague answers and are open to many interpretations. You are no fortune teller, that much is clear. But how can you be a seeress or healer without another living soul around? With a gentle smile, living souls pester me from time to time, but to be fair, they are easily turned into souls of the dead, like today. While you still breathe, you ask away. I'll do my best to live up to the Kimmerin tales that allege me to be a seeress. Does Orkin know that we are here? He may suspect something, but he can pull his hair out and it'll change nothing. When you send a boat downstream, you cannot foresee every whirlpool, even though the river's mouth never moves. That's an interesting way of saying it. What does the future hold for Miyama? What are the gals doing here? In a dark tone, this isn't the type of question a warrior P should ask. He should be unbothered. Still, I'll answer it. Your future lies in Opacum, icon. One not need be a seerist to know that. How long will the reaping last? What can I say about a road yet traveled? I'll answer you once I've gotten a taste of the reaping. One cannot foresee all that is. What are the gals doing here? It was my guard, Icon. I wanted to keep away from the NCs, but I miscalculated. I do not regret losing it. I wasn't planning to go anywhere, but the sight of you and your red-haired companion makes me reconsider. Where will you go? To Opacum. It's a fortress on the far side of the Milky Mountains. There's a Mynheer there, but Orkin's will isn't going to get you there. That Mynheer is dead. You will escort me to it by the paths of the Vale of Mercy and the Vandal Forest. What's there in Opacum for you? I know not. It's difficult to see one's own future. The fortress will see its share of misery, but the reaping is not all powerful there. Don't remain dispassionate. Haven't you heard that of the mastery spiral? Be like a callow youth. Experience joy and sorrow. Remember to breathe peacefully. You will accompany me. We will set out soon. Before we leave, I'll tell you why you cannot refuse. Have no doubt. Alright. Bola. Detached manner, you're a tough one. The cold does not affect you. The wind brings the sense of my homeland. I've never been there, but my heart leaps into my throat at the thought of seeing my family. I'm a lucky one, Icon. Everything will be fine. What do you mean by fine? Life is fine when today is followed by tomorrow, and you can count on the next day coming in turn. No executions or other terrors. Settling in your own home, having a husband and children is very much fine. Call me crazy if you want. I care not who you are or who you think you are. You cannot see yourself from the inside, can you? Why should I care who you are now if you will just change after a moment? If you want to know where the arrow will strike, find the archer, talk to him, see how he dines, where he sleeps, and take a good look at his bow. It's the Burkanan saying, is it not? What can I tell you of Burkana if I've never been there before? That's a good point. Are you like a seed eager to impregnate the soil? Take your pick. I care not if it's the soil, the womb, or the flower pot. I can tell you one thing, Icon. Never again will I be a slave. What do you think about the Lady of the Ruins? There was a tragedy in her life, one of such magnitude you can't possibly imagine, and there's more, and worse grief to endure. Trust me, I know. Women simply sense it. That's why I'm so happy. Compared to hers, my troubles are nothing. Fair enough. Roar, the Paladin is not himself lately. His bravado is gone. Roar seems tipsy. You are not certain but you are certain he has not had alcohol. He mumbles something about Palin and smirks, but his expression does not fit his troubled gaze. Did you find something out? Where should we go now? The woman is one of a kind. I'd have thought a queen had come out of that hut to greet us. Were it not for her tattered dress, she seems unapproachable. Where do you want to go? It appears that we're all heading to Burkana. Bandits and thieves aren't welcome there, but travelers and foreigners can feel safe. I'd follow Amla if you yourself did so. This is what I cannot grasp. She probably is wise, and likely still deft, but what is her power? Have you heard of the Palin enchanters? not the Vandal shamans or the Frisian sorcerers meddling in the graveyard flesh, nor the Burkanan witches, but the Palin enchanters. The ones that can make warriors fearless? At least you know something of the Palians. Our warriors do not drink mushroom infusions to fill themselves with rage. These are all tales. Truth be told, they listen to their enchanter. They absorb the power he channels through his gesture, his gaze, even his silence. Amma seems like a very powerful enchantress. One glance was enough to make me feel weak, like a Pelian rat. If she hounds on me, however, I'll turn to a raging beast. You'd not understand. I suppose so. What do you know of Opacum? There's a large enchanted fortress. Sorcerers feel nauseous in its proximity, and it heats certain amulets. Legends say it's never been taken, yet every ship eventually sinks. Do you think the time has come? What do I know about time? I do sense something in the air. Rats always flee a sinking ship first, but it's not true of the Pelians. Do you know why? Because their instincts are even better. Pelians flee ahead of the rats. Kama is rooted on the spot. You wonder why the lady in the ruins is so mesmerizing to him. You approach Kama. He leans against the stone post, looking much like the post himself. His mask must be rooted to his face. She knows people like me. She came by and spoke to me, said that I can remove my mask to become inconspicuous. She spoke my language, not like Reet, but the way we speak in my world. This woman is from there too. You're learning our language quickly. I absorb everything like a sponge. My world ceased to exist. I can feel it, so I must now absorb this world and its tongue. Will you take your mask off? No. Without it, I would feel defenseless. Listen up. There's another matter. There's something like a Menhir nearby, something was similarly powerful. Is it the rock itself? No. It's something Amma wears. It could also be Amma herself. Take care, Icon. If I'm right, she is stronger than you. Umbra are not human. Where I come from, they are akin to terrible demons. They serve the gods, one of them at least. The more insane he was, the more terrible his servants became. Only now do I understand this. Tell me everything you know, even if you have a few words for it. Interesting. How many Umbra servants are there? According to Reed, 12 Lower Umbra perished at the Drowsy Deep 700 years ago. There were originally 25. 5 High Umbra and 20 Lower Umbra, a set lower for each of the Almighty. 5 High Umbra and 8 or Lower Umbra still live then. Lower Umbra are also called curios or runaways. We are taught to kill them, but have not yet killed. Very few manage it. One also cannot hide from the High Umbra. Who are the Reapers? High Umbra who have absorbed the spirit of divinity. Since nobody controls them, they become Reapers and gorge themselves on the Menhir's power. I cannot guarantee any of the Umbra will not become Reapers. I can list the High Umbra by name: Dorpkal, Atak, Adna, Chaldaho, and the greatest of them, Tai Bibar. He has the face of an old man, but the body is that of a towering athlete. He is the walking cauldron of hatred. What can you tell me of the gods from your world? Almost nothing. There were 5 of them. Talking about them in vain was punishable by death. I myself have killed for that. One thing is certain: 4 of the 5 tried to save the world. Do not ask me for details. My knowledge is akin to an echo of good tidings that cling to your face like spider webs, or like a drowning child's cry. I cannot be certain of anything. And the last question for now. Why is it that the Menhirs, the Umbra, and the Ensies are the only remnants of your world? They are not the only remnants, Icon. Somewhere in the dust of Terminum there lies an ark full of my kin, waiting to be rescued. It is possible that I was suspended within all these years. It is also possible that the reaping is meant to purge this world for us to rule. Are you prepared to kill me to reduce this risk? I have more important things to do right now. Rita is quiet as a mouse. Why is she so scared? Why do you withdraw? Does something about this woman frighten you? She is old but not threatening. You do not understand. She's different. She's someone like Orkin, someone who's capable of extraordinary feats. I think you will see soon enough. I sense darkness in her that Orkin lacked. That's kind of foreboding. What kind of deeds? She foresees the future. That's quite something. Believe me, guarding a floating menhir is not the strangest thing in Terminum. That woman, though, she is a mystery. Tell me what troubles you. What could happen if Amma says something to make me accompany her? I had a feeling that she saw her deaths. There's no mercy in her eyes, no hope. The good news is that I could be wrong. I myself am no seeress. Levels? Yes. Let's just keep your health going, I guess. Tank it up. Anybody else level? No. If you're done here, you can suggest departing to the white-haired lady. Explain yourself before we leave, Amma. Are you certain I will escort you? Do you remember the words carved into the hall of the Serpent's Temple many centuries ago? Let me remind you, there is no death as long as your spirit is incorruptible. You could have read about it in the ancient manuscripts. No, all the maxims of the great ancestress are carved only in stone. None can be removed from the temple except one. What wisdom do you speak of? The one that whispered into the neophyte's ear during the initiation. The warrior piece should have been told. Live and wait for the summon. Now I summon you, Icon. There is not another warrior piece in the whole of Terminum, is there? Who are you, Emma? Why do you look so familiar? I've been told that my image is carved into a column to the right of the temple altar. I doubt the sculptor cared for the true likeness, but I've heard they annually refresh the white paint for the hair. I am the great ancestress. Now we set out, Icon. And one more thing, warrior. Fret not over strixes while you travel with me. You personally need not rely on them in any case, or are you saving them for another? Protect Reed if you can. Trust me, without her your life is worth nothing.
You are like a blade in a worn-out scabbard. What can you do if rust melds you together?
Interesting. Okay, so I'm back to being you. Let's get that all buffed up. Alright, where do I want to go? You don't really buy anything. Let's just go to the Serpent's Tower, I guess. An agitated guard runs up. As you ride by the tower, he recognizes Aki and tells him that their captain's been bitten by a snake. He says that Aki knows if Aki knows a good healer nearby, it's time to spill the beans. Much to your surprise, the giant doesn't mention you. I know this guard, he whispers, leaning in. His name is Dorian, and the captain is Sans, an exceptional scoundrel. Got his title thanks to Bron Vinci. Screw him, huh? Let him die like the scum he is. Interesting. Follow Dorian. You realize that even a scoundrel may be useful. It's quite possible the captain could lead you to the hint you need. But should you help someone like him? Yeah, let's do it. You nod to Dorian, who leads you to the captain. He's already delirious, but the bite has left a dark mark on his swollen leg. You've still got some time, but you need to decide quickly. Near the nearby forest is home to special healing herbs. The captain would recover much faster if you found some. Using an antidote or magic are viable options too, but you would be wasting your resources on a scoundrel. However, without such measures, the snake bite will take several days to heal. Hmm. Let's give him the antidote. You saved an antidote in your saddlebag for a rainy day. You hate to waste it on such a scoundrel, but neither can you let an important hint vanish without a trace. You blackened your it's supposed to be your blackened hand stings lightly as Sans comes to. Seems like the captain has potential for sorcery. He's probably unaware, but even subconscious potential is dangerous. Sans still looks pretty bad, but at least he can talk. Sputtering, he explains that he went behind the tower to relieve himself and met an old hag there. As he shooed her away, she turned to him and uttered the word Lan. San says he used to know a fellow named Lan, a guard commander of Prince Hedderling's escort, but the old woman couldn't possibly mean him. As the captain rambles on, you realize this was the hint you sought. He thinks he's still too weak, and it's your duty to nurse him back to health. You do not share his view. Why waste time on the scoundrel? See to it that Sans is completely cured. Trick? Ignore him and leave. Let's trick him. You give Sans the antidote, really just a laxative, and tell him he'll be fine without supervision if he drinks a spoonful of the medicine every day. Sans smiles and gives you his blessing. Hearing these words makes your hand grow surprisingly warmer. Ah, shit, did he just curse me? Oh, he did the opposite. He healed me. Fantastic. Give in to the curse. Your blackness of your hand creeps upwards, and yet the reaping halts. If it were only for a while, you can console yourself knowing the suffering lessens. You glimpse at something white through the dry creepers and layers of the soft moss, an ancient altar touched by dirt and dampness, and on it an elaborate sigil, a spiral crossed by a vertical line, the signature of one of your comrades who died 700 years ago on the same field you survived. Tell the truth. Aki knows the symbol. I've seen the scroll mark often. I've read this before. Yeah, we did this one already. Actually, a long time ago.
The road to the west of Frigga is full of refugees and retreating troops. People are being driven from the ancient fort by the war and the reaping. And while you can run from war, the reaping will claim anyone. The pyre is burning. The crows are circling the place, and it seems as though all hope is lost. You don't even know why you need to visit the abandoned Frigga. Do you hope to uncover another piece of this treacherous puzzle? Or maybe you hope to catch up to Thornbrennan's daughter and figure out the source of her power. Do you have enough time for that? The blackness possessing your arm is slowly creeping up. The curse crawls its way to your heart, making your journey into a race with death itself. Thankfully, you managed to leave it in the dust. For now.
Your squad nears Frigga's gate. The last defenders abandoned the pale stone fortress. Thornbrennan and his daughter are somewhere up ahead. How could she withstand a reaper? The question weighs heavily on your mind. The gate is open wide, no guards in sight. There's no surprise that you do not see a tollman. There aren't even any archers on the towers. The town is empty. The oldest fort in Burkana is abandoned. What is there to do in an empty fortress? Where should one go? Rask fidgets restlessly in his saddle. He used to have a small shop in Frigga, but sold it long ago. The memories still haunt him. He touches the wall as he rides by. You find this kind of sentimentality foolish. You suddenly feel a sudden burst of unbearable pain. You turn to Rask. He grows pale and wipes the sweat from his brow and with shaking hands. He clearly shares your anguish, which means that you were not mistaken. One of your brethren, one of the few remaining Umbra, has passed from this mortal coil. Rask catches his breath. Damnation. It got me good. Don't say a word. I felt it too, but it was muddy. Some kind of sorcery must have gotten in the way. It could have happened today, yesterday, even a couple days ago. We'll talk more of this later. Interesting. Aki, a giant warrior is visibly angry. If someone has provoked his ire, that person's days are numbered. Used to stay here, a grand fortress this one, not as beautiful as Hyborg, or as formidable as Opecum, but it was so ancient and lively. Now it's empty. The Isana's soldiers didn't even close the gate on their way out. I hope they didn't just run for the hills. The soldiers of Isana were the first Berkanas to prepare for battle. As far as I know, Frigga doesn't have a sizable garrison, though Prince Heiderling's personally assumed command to protect the fortress from the constant bandit incursions. Odala even sent him a squad of swordsmen to aid. Now let's not be licking Odalia's boots just because they sent some swordsmen our way, alright? Did Jorana send soldiers to patrol the Vandal forest as well? The only one to blame here is Jabona. They're part of Berkana too, yet they are completely unwilling to help. They're only good at scavenging the roads. It was Jabona that built Frigga, Hyborg, and Opecum. They were the first to stand up to Pharesia. Even now, despite the numerous threats delivered by Pharesian messengers, the resulting infighting, they've not given up nor betrayed their own. Remember that, Aki. I don't quite get you, Hopper. You're saying that I should be grateful to Jabona or something? Think that bloated kingdom that brings nothing but for misfortune? Name a single reason why, just one. That's easy, Aki. Besides, there are many reasons, but I'll name the main three: Frigga, Hyborg, and Opecum, the three great Jaboan fortresses, which were peacefully transferred to the five kingdoms by Jabona to aid in protecting all of Berkana. Now I need some answers. Neither Perth nor Rada defend the west of Berkana. Why? That one is obvious. The Pelens wait for an opportunity to bite our flanks, or from the coast, ships from Perth and Radona sail our waters. Don't forget about that Pharesia has a fleet of its own, and every kingdom's capital is near the sea. Pelians have not attacked in years. Pharesia has never even tried to take Berkana's forts by sea. Still, there are advisors whispering to their rulers' ears day and night, warning them of potential threats. That is why half our troops stay home. Why did Jabona not become the sixth kingdom in the alliance? Because every Jaboan is a devious bastard. Well, their women are beautiful, but their children are nice, but all the others are bastards. I guess I did meet a decent Jaboan once, but that was ages ago. They are not different from other Berkanans in any way, though. Allied with Jabona, Berkana would be much stronger than Pharesia. You'll be surprised to know who opposed this alliance. The Temple of Divine Retribution, that's who, Karanzan included. It's incorrigibly strange. Not incorrigibly. Indescribably strange. How were Pharesian troops prepared for war? Who knows? I wasn't spying on them. They've got good fortune tellers or something. They foresaw the reaping. The Pharesians got their act together, assembled their troops, and stationed them near the border. Then the reaping strikes, and we're already at arm's length. It wasn't that they anticipated the reaping. They were the ones to call it forth, like Vandal shamans praying for rainfall. True, those shamans are met with less success, but they don't seal their sorcery with blood. The same can't be said for our temples. No time for questions. There are urgent matters to attend to. Rask, you and your old friend need to discuss what you felt on entering the fort. Why are you making that face? Yes, my senses have sharpened. You are not the only one to get to the heart of matters, you know. These are terrible times if our Umbra brethren lose their bodies in such a foul place. Who are you talking about exactly? I felt it too, barely though. Either the place or the weapon has been sealed with a spell, making it hard to tell where and when it all happened. Can you at least tell me who died? That's what I should be asking you. Did this blackness of yours rob your intuition? It was my old friend Korboff, who lost his body recently. He's been going by the name Drocket. Oh shit. Not only Not to worry though, he's seen worse. What would he be doing here? Isn't it obvious? Fragga should be governed by the Prince of Isania, while Korboff has always been a frequent guest at his court, so nothing surprising about good old Drocket appearing in Fragga. The only thing that surprises me is that he actually died. Umber are not easily killed. Haven't seen Korboff for ages. He was called Drewer back then. He disappeared somewhere on the northern Palian lands. Many theories behind it. Where is he headed now? I don't know. He always was quite fickle. One thing I know for sure, Korboff possesses only the bodies of certain lowlives, though he'd not settle for a peasant. The times dictate that he'll have to make do with whatever body he gets. Never could understand him, always hiding something. All those children. But I've no time to save some nobleman from a death's embrace. What's your take on all this? What do you think? Don't you see that what I've been reduced to for years? Every little sound startles me. I've been bound to this body ever since the Ashen Wasteland appeared. If it goes, I go with it. Perhaps my death will be even more final than the human's death. First you bring it up, and then you say that it's not your secret to tell. See my hand? It's my secret. Wish I knew the solution to it. And now I'm bound to this body too. I won't just be flying away and looking for a new shell like Korboff does. I think it all leads back to us somehow. That's right. He loves life so much, he couldn't possibly die that easy. His hand was forced. Whatever, I'll meet him later. Although he likes to pull pranks on me whenever he switches bodies, take his sweet time before introducing himself. Let's hope he doesn't possess the body of a shaman or Parisian, although what's the difference? What difference would it make? To be honest, I have no time for Korboff right now. There's a well of mysteries to solve, so I must avoid any distractions. Let's talk some other time. Hederling, you should look for the prince by the gate. If he's still there, he'll be commanding the remaining troops. As soon as you leave the horses at the hitching post and blend in amongst the guards, the garrison is prepared to retreat. You stumble upon the prince in the crowd before you meet him. You've met him before. He's surprised to see you and calls you over. Well, I'll be a scribe from Isania. Here? What do you see, Copper? Are you lost or something? I mean, there's a war going on. Any day now, Gals will enter this fortress, and I'm not going to stick around to welcome them. What do you need? I'm also a Juranin master of the hunt now, Your Highness. I need to find Thorn Brennan. Prince Treg has some questions for him. I need to catch up to him quickly and discuss the matters of utmost urgency. You people never end. Just a few days ago, the Juranin messenger came here with a package. I cannot recall his name. He was also on Thorn's trail. Had some sort of official pardon from Prince Treg. The lad was barely standing. He seemed wounded. Wait, that's right, his name was Hode. Damnation, that's Treg's son, Ho, the crown prince. How did he beat us here, unless he changed horses? What a pain in the ass. Apologies, Your Highness, couldn't help it. Is that so? I sent him off to the White Tower. Thorn won't be there for long. He'll definitely head to Opacum next. You might manage to intercept him along the way. He's accompanied by Drocket, my best warrior. At least I hope he is. Where would it be best to intercept him? I doubt Brennan is going to return to Freyga. His way leads to Opacum now. Try to intercept him near the water Menhir. He will certainly stop there. Excuse me, Your Highness. Did you not catch a glimpse of Thorn Brennan's daughter, a girl around 16? Prince Treg has no interest, but I'd still like to see her. She's accomplished something remarkable back in Albinus. Perhaps she was there, but I'm not certain. It's not like I inspected a squad. They helped me with the gals, that's it. Also, Treg is no longer a prince. He's already been crowned. I should leave Freyga now if I ever want to wear a crown myself. Is the fort completely abandoned? Go see Leon if you want to know more. He's commanding the guard now. He'll be leading a small squad as cover. If you've not much time though. They're also leaving Freyga soon. Farewell. Prince Hireling mounts his horse and orders that his men head east. His squad soon vanishes from sight, leaving you in the abandoned fort. Your companions look to you with hope. This may be the last peaceful day before the calm before the storm, unless the storm has already begun. Rask furrows his brow. What now? Do you call that a siege? We're still in one piece. Now, to find this Leon of yours, get the latest news and be on your way. Let me tell you something. I've heard of the White Tower, not a place a man should just wander into. I've heard this White Tower, you say. No sane person would linger there. It makes sense to head straight to Opacum, but I've got some unfinished business here. I should seek out Leon. I know this Leon fellow. Aki mumbles, not a bad soldier, but always whining about something. They say when Leon visits the market, his face turns the milk sour. You laugh. Don't worry, Aki. We have nothing to fear. We're not milkmen, are we? We'll just have a small chat with him and be on our way. Well, let's talk to Mashum first. Mashum is hardly impressed with the abandoned fort. You wonder what he's thinking. Woodhopper, this is the guy that you get to join you that I was talking about that was at the gate. Woodhopper, never seen the abandoned fortress before? Nothing to be concerned about, I gather. I think the lands that lie beyond Freyga would be much more dangerous. The roads are treacherous and full of scoundrels. People are living there, Mashum. There's even an inn here, and villages and hamlets. You may call them people, I call them bandits. I know the inn you speak of, the Bear's Paw. They say the innkeeper is friendly with that forest witch. Sorry, Mashum, but I was under the impression that true riches can only be found in common Barkanen markets. You'll change your tune when you see the thin old hag with snake eyes and the staff shaped like a bird's claw. If only you knew the horror stories they tell about her. And have you heard of the flooded quarries or the hot springs? What stories are you talking about, Masham? The witch dries people out. One touch with her staff turns you to jerky. She can also enchant the grass around her, turning it into blades that can skewer a man. Calm down, Masham. No witch is capable of such sorcery. What's wrong with the flooded quarries? The bandits drown the merchants they robbed there. They tie rocks to their legs and down they go. Their corpses float up into the wells afterwards, sometimes in the Furs village, sometimes near the tavern. And the water doesn't become tainted? That's hogwash, Masham. Nothing but talk, not a single witness. What's wrong with the hot springs? Thing is, the water in some of them isn't simply hot, it also contains some sort of cursed salt. It won't just boil you alive, it'll completely dissolve your corpse too. Just think about it. It's claim more than a few lives. Calm down, we're definitely not going there. Not this time, at least. Stop filling your head with foolish tales, Masham. Tales are not. They strike fear in me. They're only foolish to people from Albinus or Ursus. But you'll think differently after spending time in the woods. It wouldn't take a week before you believed all of it. Worry not. Once we make it to Opacum, you'll forget it all, as if it's been a bad dream. Lon. A chance to speak to Lon. A chance to speak with the commander of the guard is something you do not want to pass up. Did I read his stuff? Master Sergeant of the Asanian Army, personal shield bearer to the King, Guard, Commander of Fragga, Prince Heiderling's trusted companion and mentor of the Asanian patrols, expert in fencing and combat on horseback, awarded an engraved gem-encrusted dagger for his impeccable long-time service, veteran of the military campaigns, master of ceremonies, promoted to Esquire. The Royal Secret Service of Asania has investigated accusations of a special relationship with His Highness the Prince. They found his companion in arms, consider him an arrogant bastard, but one who never betrays anyone's trust. An eyewitness testified confirmed his liaison with the Prince is a classified secret. Who are you people? I don't recall calling you, damn it, Aki. Why are you dawdling about? We're the only ones here, and we'll soon be leaving. The bandits have suspended the siege for now, but they could always return. What is it that you want? Hopper's the one leading our squad. He's a healer and a scribe and well many things. He's the one you should talk to. I must say I'm glad to see that you're in good health, though you seem rather sour as usual. Well, it's hardly sunshine and rainbow in these parts. For a siege, then the right reaping. Got stuck by an arrow recently, too. Thankfully, the hag came and fixed up my sword arm, but she was really strange, let me tell you. A strange hag, you say? Have you noticed any other oddities since she healed your wound? Oh, I have. For one, on my arm for one. It's itching like mad. You're a healer. Can you take a look? You nod and examine Lon's hand. Under the already familiar spell work, you find a short sentence that complements the previous one, like a sword in a sheath. You will save yourself by saving others. Looking at clean hand gods. Now that's a relief. It's gone. Was that magic? Did the hag curse me? It's gone. Why do you even ask? I'd like to find the hag and have a chat with her. Good luck to you. She vanished without a trace. I just want to know how you made the curse go away. Hopper's not some cheap magician, if that's what you're thinking. He's got a temple license and from Prince Traeg's full support. Hopper aided you, so you should be grateful. It's not your place to ask how he did it. You're right, Aki. I'm shaken by the siege, is all. But I can still appreciate another's kindness. I bow to you, healer, and thank you for aiding me. Alas, I have no other reward to offer. As a scribe, I value information above all else. Your answers will add to my knowledge, which is reward enough. Why is there no siege? Ask the one issuing orders on the other side. This fort may be standing on a cliff and is difficult to assault, but it's hanging by a thread. Plenty of attackers bearing down on it too. I think their leader just doesn't give a crap. All these bold defenders would find themselves impaled on bandit spikes otherwise. Wait, I think I'm missing something. What leader are you talking about? Has some great warlord managed to unite the local Gauls and Vandals under his banner? There's a leader, to be sure. We've seen his silhouette at night in the torchlight, a giant in chains carrying a glaive. The moment he appeared near the fires, the siege halted, uttered nary a word, yet all the fighters withdrew in unison, then moved east. That's why we're leaving too, lest we're cut off from Berkana. Jorp call. There has never been anything like this. It seems as though they desire nothing less than to completely crush Berkana. What old woman are you talking about? Don't know. At first I thought she was one of the locals. They helped a great deal during the assault. She dealt with the wounds wonderfully. However, she whispered some strange things while she was bandaging me. An invocation, it seems. Then she up and vanishes. Kept the witch from entering the fort, though. What witch are you talking about? Do you just repeating any heresy you hear in Terminum or something? Next, you'll tell me that you've seen the Lady of the Forest. Don't know. Thin crutch like in her hand? Excuse me. She just stood on a hill, and it was like everybody around went deaf. Our hag stood near the gate inside the fort, crossed her arms, and kind of bent forward as if walking into the wind. Then she vanished. I don't even know what to think. Aye, food for thought to be certain. The Lady of the Forest is the last thing we need. There's still the big question. Alright, ask me. It's not that I don't wish to help you, it's that I'm running out of time. You two need to get out of here while you still can. Heard anything about Mac Brennan, I mean? Concern for his fate was one of the reasons we came here in the first place. His father was in Fraga a couple days ago, headed to the White Tower. Drockett was also concerned with Mac's fate, being his mentor and all. If Isana's best soldier can't save Mac, then no one can anyway. He's being accompanied to a Peckham, off to see his granddad, if he still lives, of course. Well, thank you, Lon. We'll be on our way if you've nothing more to say. The onslaught may still resume. It seems we'll have to take one of the roads to Peckham. Wait, go where everyone else goes, but first be healed, where the water washes away the ineradicable sorcery, and listen to those who have affinity with animals. That's what the old witch said. Haven't forgotten a word of that hogwash. I do not know what any of it means, Lon, but it's certainly not hogwash. Safe travels to all of us. Farewell. It's quite the view. Leave Frigga. You've done all that you have to do in Frigga. You need to leave the fortress before the enemy returns. Alright, well the last video was quite a bit longer than typical, so oh my god, I have 6 skill points. So I will call it quits here for the day. It'll be a little bit of a shorter video to make up for it. My throat's still a little bit hoarse, still getting over the COVID, so just feeling a lot better though, so hopefully I'm not coughing and sneezing and blowing my nose as much as I was when the campaign started. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Thanks again to the subscriber that donated this game to the channel, so I will see what it's all about. Have a great day.